For the boxing fans out there, I didn't get to do a prediction on the Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz fight. This is for y'all that do follow boxing or MMA. Y'all know that both of these dudes came from UFC. Jorge just retired from UFC. I think Nate stepped down. He was pretty much at close to the end of his contract, so he was about to. He said he wanted to go do a little bit of boxing because he believes his best game is stand-up boxing. And these dudes, this was the second time they fought. The first time they fought was in UFC. I think it was for the BMF belt, and Diaz lost because he had like a big gash or whatever, and the refs had to call the fight off. They didn't let him fight through it. That kind of ruined the whole BMF thing for them to be the baddest motherfucker in the UFC, and then you rule it off just because he had a gash in his head. Like this dude is used to fighting like that. It's barbarian, like it's a barbarian sport. That's how these dudes fight. So, anyways, Jorge was up 1-0 going into the boxing fight. Man, I was rooting for Nate. I'm always gonna root for Nate. He's just one of my. I'm a fan. That's one of the fan favorites. I knew that he was gonna play around a lot. He liked to showboat. He gonna do his thing in the press conference. He gonna talk crazy. He didn't do the weigh in or anything like that. So they had a little brawl like maybe a month ago. So this was building up like some bad animosity, and they let it all out in the ring. Man, they gave us was it 10 rounds, 10 rounds of nonstop action. Not one round was boring. I think this fight came on like 1 o'clock. We ended up I dozed off, and when I woke up, the fight was Nate was just now walking out. So it was about 1 a.m. in the morning. But overall, the fight was good. To me, like I said, I was going for Nate Diaz. However, I do believe Jorge won the fight just because he landed more punches. He landed more power punches, and he was more locked in when it comes to boxing. He wasn't there to be playing around or anything like that. Nate was showboating. He ain't really hitting with no power punches, but his punches were connecting. He just didn't. I think he got outlanded by maybe 30, 40 punches. But I thought like Jorge would have got it because of the power punches. But you could tell that the fans, the whole arena was going for Nate. They was going crazy for Nate. And this was one of those fights that like if Nate don't win the fight, they're gonna boo Jorge out the building. And they end up giving the win to Nate. They made that makes it 1-1. Jorge was pretty upset about it because he felt like he said, I landed all the power punches. I wasn't in there playing around, like I was locked in trying to fight this man. And I said Nate was playing around or whatever. But after the fight, Nate said he would like to fight, go back to the UFC and fight like Leon Edwards or Conor McGregor. I think he said Conor McGregor. He wanted to fight a couple of people out of UFC still. So it looks like he still got the door open that possibly he could get one of those big fights. I don't know if he's looking for a petty. He's a fighter, but to me, it's like you at the age where you're just looking for the big fights to retiring right off in the sunset. I wouldn't mind him coming back to the UFC, but I really do want to see him put on like a quality fight. I know he, like I said, he showboats a lot, man, but I want him to perform better. I want him to knock people out or choke him out of something because that what just happened the other night, they're not gonna give you that type of win in UFC. If you get outlanded or people get a takedown on you, you're not winning that fight. So salute to Nate Diaz, man, coming through getting that win. Man, I know he won a lot of people money, including Conor McGregor. Conor said he put 500K on Nate Diaz to win the fight, and he ended up walking away with 1.3 million off of Nate winning. So salute to Conor for picking the right person, man. As far as Jorge go, like he showed potential, man. He can definitely box. He came up out of the backyard fights with Kimbo Slice and all them. So he's definitely a boxer, man. I do like when these UFC fighters are getting to that age. If they better known for striking and like they the takedowns where they weak points in the UFC, I wouldn't mind them going to bare knuckle or going to a boxing fight, getting paid more and putting on a show, man. Like I said, they fought for 10 rounds. It was 10 times better than the other fight that I will discuss on this next video. Like, share, subscribe to the Meet You from the Midwest podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram for your latest boxing update.